Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you for the season 1 recap video for Tuesday album reviews that I did this whole year. So I'm going to discuss what albums I did and I'll let you know my thoughts on why I did them or whatever. So let's dive into this video. Now, the first one I did was Crossfade's self-titled album. That was a pretty good record. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. Um, then after that, I did Madonna's Hard Candy, and that one was, it was fine. It wasn't great. There were some iffy songs to like on there, but I still enjoyed it. And the third one was Dead by Sunrise, Out of Ashes. That was the last new band that Chester Bennington was with or whatever. And they didn't get to make a second record because of his passing, which is pretty sad. But I still think they did a good job on that record. A really good job. His screams in it were great, and there was a lot to like about that record. That's all I can say. But pretty much, yeah, Out of Ashes was a really good record. Then I did on the fourth episode, which was Rascal Flatts, Still Feels Good. That's a good record. It's nothing perfect, but it's got a few iffy songs off it. Not many iffy songs. Like, the record feels a little stale at times, but I think it does what it's supposed to do. And the fifth episode I did was the Slipknot Volume 3, the Subliminal Verses, which was on 8/13. That one was a really good record. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I really loved it. Corey Taylor's screams in it were great. The drumming in it's amazing. And the guitar work is just super good. I think my favorite song was Pulse of the Maggots off that record. That was a really good album. And yeah, the sixth episode I did was Disturbed's Believe album, and that record was pretty solid. Well, it was really good. There were some tracks on there that kind of felt boring, but to listen to, but I think at the end of the day, I think the record did pretty good. It closed out with the Darkness song, and that one was a really good song. The seventh episode I did was Seether's Karma and Effect album. I did a lot of Tuesday album reviews, so I'm going through all of them, so it may take a little while. Seether's Karma and Effect album was pretty good. Well, it was really good. It was probably their best Seether album I've heard. The best Seether album I've heard. There is some tracks on there that were okay, but I'm the One was great. Simplest Mistake was amazing, and Diseased was my favorite one too. I think Simplest Mistake, I love the screams that Sean Morgan brings out in that song. It really does a good job, and I really enjoyed the record a lot. It had Remedy on it, it had Truth, The Gift, and Burrito was a pretty good song too. Never Leave was amazing as well, and The World Falls Away as well. Number The 8th episode I did was 1OK Rock's Jinsai times Boku. That one was a really good record. Um, I did a lot of rock albums, most of this thing for the beginning of it, and then I went to different kinds of albums afterwards. Um, yeah, Jinsai times Boku, I released it on 9/2, which I was supposed to release on 9/3, but I had to deal with this Hurricane Dorian thing that was going to be passing us by or whatever, but it didn't hit, so that's good. And that's why I did it a day early. But yeah, this record was really good. Um, there's I like the Smiling Down song a lot. That was my favorite one. 69 was it wasn't that great, but it did all right. And there were many others. Deeper was pretty good. Closing track was really awesome. The beginning was my favorite one. Um, and many others. I think Smiling Down's got to be my personal favorite off the record. And yeah, uh, I really enjoyed the record. The 9th episode I did was AFI's December Underground. This was a pretty interesting record. Wasn't their best release, but it did a pretty good job, I guess. Can't remember what I gave the rating for it, but I still enjoyed some of the record. Davey Havok's screams in it were pretty solid. They weren't great, but they were pretty solid. And just Miss Murder was a great song, and many others as well. But yeah, I enjoyed most of the record. Uh, the 10th episode I did was Papa Roach's Metamorphosis, and that record uh, was a little stale. I gave it like a 7.5 out of 10 if I remember correctly. And I wasn't a big fan of it. But because there were some boring songs, the regular songs kind of got a little boring and didn't get much interesting. But I enjoyed the Lifeline song, I Almost Told You That I Loved You song, and Change or Die was not bad. Hollywood Whore I believe is part of the record. I'm not sure, but they put it on the record, I guess. But I think it's like a 2006 song, which I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but uh, that song was okay. The 11th episode I did was Hollywood Undead's 5, and this record was awesome. There were a lot of good tracks on it. Yeah, they experimented with some tracks that most people won't be crazy about, but certain people won't be crazy about, but I still enjoyed the record. It was a pretty solid release, and they did a really good job on this record. Uh, I wouldn't say it's a solid release, it's an amazing release, is what I meant to say. But yeah, uh, I enjoyed Bang Bang off the record. Your Life, Black Cadillac was my favorite. Renegade's a really good one too. The breakdowns in Renegade is amazing. And many more tracks off the record. The record just takes it to a personal level some of the time, but through the beginning of the record, it kind of has a few songs that get a little personal, but then it dives into the more heavier stuff. And that's when I really love the record. But yeah, Hollywood Undead's 5 was a really good album. Definitely go check that out if you haven't heard it. The 12th episode I did was Chris Brown X. This one was, it was fine. Wasn't great. Well, I really liked it, is what I meant to say. It was probably the last best record I heard from him. I did hear Royalty and many others. Heartbreak on a Full Moon's growing on me more after listening to it multiple times, but it's a long record. I think Indigo was probably his weakest release that he's released. Sure, some of the tracks are not bad, but I'm not a huge fan of Chris Brown because of the way he's interpreting his lyrics with how I'm gonna beat up that pussy and all that. And I'm just like, oh my god, this guy just doesn't stop saying those lyrics. But yeah, I'm gonna have to come back at you for the second part for the season 1 recap of the Tuesday album reviews video. But comment below, let me know what you guys thought of this video. And if you like this video, comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can to support the channel. I will return to you for part 2 of the season 1 recap of the Tuesday album reviews that I did this whole year. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.